Welcome back, family, to the Android community. If you join in for the first time, this is the best community for you, I promise. Listen, there was a terrorist attack on the capital of Niger yesterday. Niamey.
Seigneur Dieu, actuellement, escadrille. Putain de merde. Hein? Voilà.
Don aka yi haka nan. Ana halga da mutane su ta zanga-zanga. Na hasbunallahi kaga wai wajen gidanmu.
Wallahi wajen mu la ilaha illa.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi.
And not just Niamey, they wanted to attack the Diori Hamani Air Base, where Niger has some of its strategic military capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the information we received when we dissected the whole information properly, intelligence reports stated that the Nigerian intelligence already had a knowledge of this attack that was coming. According to the information we had, they already intercepted the communication links of these jihadists. The jihadists were communicating intels, but there was an interception of intelligence. According to the information, the gendarmes, the special forces, they were already in place. The dogs were ready. You want smoke? We will give you smoke. And ladies and gentlemen, by the time the terrorists were prepared to launch their planned decapitation assault on these capabilities, the response was overwhelming. According to security analysts, they said the Nigerians activated something they called the air defense capability. Based on the information we received, some drones were used and those drones were neutralized almost immediately. We are not talking about, UAV capable drones. We're talking about, FPV and all of that. They were neutralized instantaneously. And when you look at the heavy firepower that came from the Nigerian, formation, it was absolutely devastating. We have the receipt if you want to see. Now, some Nigerians were awake to capture the scene of the whole chaos that was under the control of the Nigerian armed forces. They did not only neutralize the terrorists. According to the information, some were neutralized and some were captured on the line of contact. Ladies and gentlemen, matter of fact, based on the overwhelming assault, there was no line of contact. It was a net that was set in place for some people to jump into then capture them. According to the information, some of them were arrested. Now they're in the gallows. Now that we have to drink gari and kuli. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is just a part of it. When we were having our live session yesterday, I said, let's continue our live session. Everywhere is Data Hotel. Let me remind you of something, right? In Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger currently, there is something you all should have noticed. The level of counterintelligence that is taking place in the Sahel right now is on a whole nother level. Before plans are even being organized, there are already, counter capabilities to intercept whatever the enemies of the state have in plan. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just another victory in the book. Now, here's my cautionary tale to the free people of the world that are in the Android community. To the community, my cautionary tale is this. Imperialism is a bad student. When you defeat it, it goes away and it comes back. For this attack to happen in Niamey, it means that there are some sleeper cells, some sleeper agents that were activated. Now, it is even better to be able to discover and uncover these sleeper cells. That said, They just sacrificed some sleeper groups, right, that were within carrying out covert operation. The people that are activating them just activated a bunch of human, systemic silence capability to discover some things. Don't look at everything from the periphery, okay? They might make this attempt on these strategic capabilities, right, to see the response from the Nigerian authorities. Now, okay, let's test their defense. Let's map out their strategic response to this type of threats. Now, they take notes. I am talking about the enemies of the state. Now, they launched this assault. The Nigerians destroyed whatever agenda, capability, or attempt that they had within less than an hour. Now, I want to remind you that this might be, it's called scratching the surface. When they scratch the surface, they want to see the response. Okay, this was how they responded. The best they can do is to come out and make some adjustments. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that this is a big victory. They will go. Yes, they take their losses. They've lost human capability. They've lost some mujahids. And, they've exposed the fact that they now had, that now the Nigerians are aware that you have sleeper cells, right? This will only lead to something, an adjustment in the counter capability, and the strategy, strategic adjustment in the response of the Nigerian forces. Because what they do now is, now they've taken their notes. This was how they responded to certain threats. This was the timing of response. What type of equipment capability did they deploy to counter this type of threat? Do we have to multiply the numbers? So this is how those people think, and we must respond in a corresponding fashion. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the livestock that was captured in the attack. I just said I should bring this information to you. We are going to have our live session tomorrow. Everywhere is Delta Hotel. I just said I should keep you guys updated. I've not slept since yesterday. I've been, picking up on the information and just say, okay, now that I've given you the information, Andre can go to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, if I offered you any type of value, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Because if you don't, Andre will cry. Thank you, and God bless you.